Welcome to the Subnormal podcast episode 1.5, I guess, whatever.
1.5, yeah.
I thought we'd start off with a little bit of Schadenfreude, I guess. A little bit of fun at Redditor's expense.
What?
Reddit, what's that?
What's Reddit?
Jamie doesn't.
It's
Hey,
full
for
of-
those out
Oh,
there who
Reddit.
don't know
No, I
Reddit.
know Reddit.
The universe's worst losers you can imagine.
Mm.
They live in a hug box. They live in a total bubble.
Mm.
And so I found just a couple funny, whiny bits from Reddit.
Oh, good
People-
ones, yeah.
bleeding their hearts out. All right, so this one, let's go to desktop. We
Or you
lost
go to,
our
go to
firstborn
boys plus
son.
desktop.
Huh?
Go to boys plus desktop.
Boys plus desktop?
Yeah, because that'll be framed
Oh, I
perfectly.
see, okay. We lost our firstborn son recently, placenta abruption. I guess that's when it just leaks out, I don't know. He was 38 weeks old, so I recreated this Batman, a Death in the Family cover, replacing Batman with myself and Robin with my son. His name was Bruce Thomas Wayne.
Ooh.
Okay, so what do we parse from this? This guy is so atomized, so sick, so enveloped in pop culture that at death of his only son, his newborn son, he basically
That's what we decided to do with it.
yes, recreates a comic book cover with him holding his placenta son.
Oh.
So yeah,
That's supposed to be Batman?
it's supposed to be him
It's
as
like in
Batman.
the style.
It's a mimicry. It's like, I guess if we go to, let's see, Batman Death in the
Oh, yeah.
Family, we can see the original one.
It's an homage to it.
It's an homage, yeah. So like this, I guess.
Not nearly as powerful.
And not nearly.
Okay.
His little twink is dead. So, yeah, I thought this was pretty disgusting. Not only does, the first thing that goes to his mind is some Batman shit,
Well,
but
I mean, did he make that to post to his social media accounts?
he put this on Reddit.
Mhm.
Reddit is a social media account.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
a big forum, basically.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
It's
I
a
mean,
forum.
I've seen it in that way, but like, I thought maybe it was something that you like post on Facebook and
Oh, he
Gets-
probably did Facebook
get
too.
sympathy.
Honestly, it's the same principle. He posted on Reddit to get likes and sympathy and whatnot.
Yeah, get here. Put your
That's
microphone here,
well,
James.
it's
Get a little closer to it.
sorry.
Oh, shit. I got this cable.
Well, it's a strange way to cope. I mean, if nothing else, I
Call
don't.
it a damn coat. What the fuck is wrong with this fucking thing?
Yeah, it's a strange way to experience reality.
Yes,
Certainly that.
Mm-hmm.
it's like that scene in that one. Your mom dies and you're like, fucking fried green tomato, whatever. Like tying it to anything like that is pathetic. But I thought this was very
Yeah,
sad.
I'm not a big fan of that.
No, especially the reaching out for sympathy and probably trying to get upvotes and stuff like that too. Because like, oh, he's a
Or
Batman nerd, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, you get Reddit Gold, right? I'm
Yeah.
not a Redditor.
So is the idea?
You get like points for something like this, essentially.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
What do the coins get? What do
See,
they? What do
I'm
they
not
do?
sure if it's actual currency or not. I think that people pay
It's just
real
like
money
points.
for
Mhm.
the Reddit gold, but I'm not sure if when they give the gold that the person gets money. I think they
Or they get like
I don't remember.
like gift certificates to Kohl's or
Maybe.
something.
maybe or they buy their cargo pants. And,
Yeah, that's there's a lot to extrapolate there. It is very sad. I don't think
Unless I mean, obviously the death
And
is sad, but the hell.
strange coping mechanism.
yeah. There's a lot of that on Reddit where like I've seen. I wish I could have found this picture where somebody's posing with his dying wife. It's like here are my and my wife's last moments together, and they put it on Reddit.
Really?
Yeah, a picture of it. And she's
I mean,
like,
I've seen way more egregious things
Oh,
online,
like half
of
dead.
things like that. Like
Yeah.
The-
What?
there's like a guy shooting a TikTok. He's like, "Grandpa, stay strong" or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's like dying in the background.
I've seen the one with the grandma. Like the fucking thought was like,
Mhm.
Bro.
Oh my god, it's different when it's kids though, because they're just idiots.
yes.
So,
this is
but this is an
ostensibly
adult.
a full-grown man.
At least in their like 20s, we can guess.
Yeah, I mean, what the guy who put the thing on Reddit, the Batman,
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
You have to be
Is
so
there
out of touch.
any indication of how old he was?
I mean, I would guess mid-20s to 30s. I mean, he can impregnate somebody. I mean, it could have been a teenager,
Yeah.
but people aren't really having like.
Probably not that.
Probably not that.
It's
no.
probably a guy more our age,
I would, yeah. Sadly enough.
which is
Yeah, maybe.
that was
With-
that's an extreme lapse in judgment at best.
Yeah, he probably had it planned. Probably poisoned his wife.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
he could do that.
Trying to psychoanalyze a person like that, it does seem like they
Android.
are in Wonderland or something like that. Though they've just completely ignored reality. They've created some other Wonderland or something for
Yes.
themselves based on what we have.
Instead of having the natural social bonds of community and whatnot, like with real family, real community, real,
I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess
lives through media.
I guess a lot of people take those sorts of things to heart, or there's some part of it that you identify with. Like there's things that I've seen, movies and things where I might take something they say or like make it into and take some version of it and repeat it.
Yeah.
Or even think, okay, well, this character, there's something I feel like I want to emulate, but
Right.
to take it to that length, I think is
A little disturbing.
I mean,
honestly.
look at
Be
that.
that
So
disconnected.
it's well beyond just taking a page out of a book. It's more like just like believing that you are that character
that's-
somehow.
That's
and-
exactly it. That media has completely absorbed his personality. His personality is not through organic means.
So he's
through other people
he's
and
sort
community and
of
stuff. It's through the media he consumes is his personality, is who he is. That's his soul now.
You mean as opposed to his community?
he's given his
As opposed to real deep
real
meaningful
humans.
things.
Yeah.
he's given his own personality away.
I mean, I think
and
we
tried
all
to
take
replace it
pieces
with
of our personality from the outside world.
Yeah,
Like we're all kind of
that's
pieces
what
of
I'm
our
saying.
friends
and
Like,
family
I
and-
mean,
This is taking it to a level.
everything
true.
that you do or everyone that you're around influences.
Mhm, yeah,
you guys have said things that 20 years ago that I say now still.
Right.
And vice versa.
that's
maybe.
organic.
But like,
That's
that
an
is
organic thing.
and these are we're
It's a personal experience too.
Yeah.
we
This is a fucking
live
comic
and we're people and we're around each other, but so that's natural, but yeah,
This is somebody
this is sort of a
small-souled bug man is what he is. Basically, an insect.
it's sort of a perversion of that, I guess you would say.
Yeah. Which leads me.
It's
Think
to
to our
the
next.
This is the next one.
Oh,
So
for fuck's sakes, what is this?
Can you read it aloud?
I can, yeah.
You can zoom too.
Is it not big enough?
I mean, just for the audience as well.
How do I control?
Control plus, I believe, or scroll. Yeah.
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
I see. Okay.
You should be able
Oops.
to
There
drag
it
it
is.
around.
Let me
Oh, I'm sure this is gonna be something
Okay.
else.
We have raised our 8-year-old daughter to believe she's a witch from an old wizarding family. Now, these are adults raising their daughter. She's 8 years old, so probably in their 30s. We're looking for more sophisticated and creative ideas from the Harry Potter community to keep this thing going. So instead of Santa Claus, it's
This
Harry
can't be
Potter.
serious.
Since our daughter was 5,
This is real.
and my wife, it's Reddit, yes. My wife and I first started reading her the Harry Potter books, which have told her that she is a witch and that the wizarding world is real. She's almost 8 and her questions have gotten deeper. I mean, you can't trick her for much longer.
No.
We've kept building the illusion with more details about our family genealogy and its connection to. We had people hanged at Salem, yeah. Connection to book characters,
Yeah.
stories about times we used magic, and the life and moral lessons we learned from it, of course. She has processed many difficult subjects like racism, climate change, and even coronavirus through this lens.
No.
So it's all a
fucking
product of
way.
black
no,
magic.
dude.
Oh
What?
my
Really?
Before,
Do you think this is real?
yes. Before other parents judge and
I think this
lecture.
is tame.
Now let me stop you first. Don't give us shit for lying to our
We know
daughter.
it's gaslighting.
Yes, we know it is gaslighting. That eventually she'll have to be disappointed and have trust issues with us when she learns the truth. But we enjoy it, so fuck it. We justify it that we are adding magic to her childhood and giving her motivation to reach her full magical potential. Since she needs to study hard to be accepted to Hogwarts. Oh my god, okay. We've asked serious questions of her teachers, and they think it's more awesome and creative than damaging. Yeah, trust your teachers.
Where is this happening? I want to know. I want to
their,
know where this is taking place.
Their what is it? Their education. What are they? They get an education degree, which are like the dumbest people on the fucking planet. You only need a second grade education to teach first graders. We've asked serious questions of our teachers, and they think it's more awesome and creative than damaging. At the very worst case, my take is that it's analogous to children being raised to believe that traditional religious stories are true. Okay, so it's just like, it's just like Christianity.
So these are sort of
they're atheistic for sure. And that when the truth hits, it will teach her to ask critical questions and not accept everything she hears or reads at face value. So this massive distrust they've inculcated into their daughter will have her suspicious of the entire world. We're looking for more ideas for how to inject little bits of Harry Potter magic into everyday life using technology, crafts, and adding more details to the fanfic that is our lives.
This can't be real.
How about the fanfic where Snape, R's Harry Potter, and he likes it?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
That's the best one.
My favorite fan fiction.
Speaking of racism,
did you ever see the
black people in Harry Potter?
I don't know.
Like
Aren't there more in
There's that one
on?
caricature that looks like the guy from the Cream of Wheat box.
I don't remember what.
There's the one kid.
Oh,
the one black kid. He's
why was I thinking of Uncle Ben?
Oh, Voldemort is bad. Well, I mean, they're kind of the same. I think they're related. Uncle Ben and Cream of Wheat guy.
Uncle Ben and Cream of Wheat.
It's his uncle.
Mr. Wheat.
Huh. So this we have reasonable sort of rights to believe that this actually is something that these people are doing.
Yes, yes. It's not. It could be. It could. Okay, it could always be a troll.
Sure.
But this is Reddit, and I've seen things infinitely worse that I wish I could have found in time.
Yeah, this does sound tame compared
this is tame
to a lot of these.
Is there, when you find something like this, is there any way to kind of track the people that are posting it?
You're talking about hunting them down and killing them, Jamie?
No, well, yeah, so. Maybe, but like
abracadabra curse on them where they die.
I mean, just the expose them, kill them later. But
no. I mean, it really. Are you saying it's child abuse or something like that?
I think it is child abuse.
Well, I mean, maybe, but what I'm just curious more about where these
Verifying
people live and like what their their lives are like.
I mean, I can.
How do you get here?
Kind of tell you a little bit. I think, and this is funny because Harry Potter, the books themselves came out in what? Like the first one was like 96, I think, and the first movie was 2001.
Late 90s or so.
Yeah. So when the movie started, the books weren't even finished. Like she kept making books after the movie started.
Yeah, she wrote a couple more after.
So I think this dovetails very well into the previous post about how people don't have like really very, very deep.
Yeah, it's very well related.
And transcendent connection to either religion or family or community or things that really do socially
that are real.
People. That are real.
Or that are at least more real than this.
That are all of our grandparents had it and back had it. And it's since the boomers came into existence, it's been deteriorating. So they attach to something like Harry Potter as opposed to, the true gospel, for example. Which is
that just I mean, obviously, it's a disappointment with the other religions, but like,
disappointment. I mean, shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, what are these people doing? There's always. I mean, I guess there have always existed groups of people that reject the major religions.
Right.
That's understandable.
Well, question. The good point to bring up. But what did those people latch on to instead? They didn't latch on to the Shaggy Dog Disney movie from '66 or whatever. They latched on to other meaningful things. Probably like I don't know, black magic or something, devil worship, which is pretty much is it here.
Some sort of spiritualism or something.
Kind of, I mean,
the movies are fun and they're cute, right? But
sure,
I would never make this such a big part of my life where I, like I said, inculcate my daughter and my son into Harry Potter as though it's like.
Well, it kind of it suggests
religion.
maybe that the writer a prophet of some kind. Either that or they're just.
Hey.
But what they're saying is that we're just lying to her. We don't even.
Yes,
believe
they
it.
admit to
And that's the thing
gaslighting.
that I don't get. Like,
Yeah.
they're not saying that they.
Well, what do you think about like
that
Santa?
they themselves are
Right.
witches.
They would compare it to
To
same thing
Santa.
as Santa Claus.
That's
Uh-huh.
that's what the first thing that came into my mind. It's like, yeah, we've been lying.
But-
like, they're gonna be pissed off, but
right, and feel
this
trust
is
issues,
this is a whole like identity where
Yes.
Santa Claus is like, it's
Right.
just
It
a
only
guy
comes
who
around Christmas.
comes around from Finland once a year or something.
Right. And this is
flying around
constant.
a reindeer and he drops off a couple presents.
Yeah.
They're saying she's a witch.
Right. And this
And-
is a year-round thing.
Oh, yeah,
it's not
true.
seasonal
Mhm.
at all.
This
It isn't
is
just a little
they're
fun.
basically framing her whole life around the Harry Potter books.
Right.
And that's
Yeah, that would be
does
pretty
seem,
devastating.
What is the word? Damaging. Yeah.
Yeah, like because if this has been since
Oh
like,
yeah,
birth,
they're saying it's more creative than damaging.
yeah, the teacher said
Fucking
that, and like I said, you
moron
can't trust your
teacher.
teachers at all.
Well, I guess not.
Oh, like if that's private school or
That
homeschool.
really made me want to have kids.
Mhm.
Your
Not
wife.
all, but
If you have a wife and she has kids that came out of her, she's gonna love and protect those kids more than
than this person
brainwashed
for sure.
Marxist teacher that teaches them Harry Potter shit.
I'd rather
This is
they
okay.
teach her my kids Marxism than this.
Just about.
Thinking about it this way, though, to play devil's advocate, I do wonder if it would be a pretty cool, assuming that there aren't any damaging long-term effects. If you did, up until you were 8 years old, believe in this super mysterious magic world,
Sure.
it would probably be a pretty magical
Yeah, it would
way
be-
to
okay.
whatever.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, well,
have your
that's
formative
fair.
years.
The crushing effect of reality, though, is the problem.
Yeah, I think it's already
Well, and
bad
also
enough.
the fact that your parents are doing it, just
Mhm.
Yes.
that fucking stupid.
And the parents have to be just as
Wouldn't
into
you
it
be
as the
embarrassed
kid.
later on if your parents brought you up that way?
Yes.
I'd be embarrassed of my parents, not of
It's
myself,
funny to, like-
because you're a kid. You'll
It's
believe
funny to-
whatever the hell.
Yeah.
But
It's funny to think of an atheistic type rebellion, because how most people rebel against Christianity or whatever at some point. Most men and women in America, you usually run into some sort of wall where you start researching things. Can
Well,
you
yeah.
imagine rejecting Harry Potter? I don't know. Like, how do you rebel against that? That's such a strange
Out of
thing.
Where would
wizarding?
she go?
Like, can you imagine coming to and
being a
realizing?
wizard,
Hopefully to
no, I don't. Yeah,
Jesus Christ as he is freely offered by the gospel.
That would be like a
can
way to
hope.
rebel, I guess, wouldn't it?
Hope.
Would be to go
well,
to.
I mean, one
This
thing.
child.
I guess one thing that is kind of interesting about this is that they're teaching these kind of silly things to their kids
Mhm.
in the context of the Harry Potter books, but the idea of witchcraft and
Which is the fastest
black
growing
magic and
religion
these sorts of
almost in the
things
West.
have existed for probably 1,000 years
I mean,
or more,
since the dawn of the
like,
mystery religions in
and-
Babylon, probably.
right? And
Long time.
What about
but what I wonder partly is just why wouldn't they just go for that?
Teach her real
Because
Satanism?
they're
Teach her a real legit Satanism.
sure, yeah. I mean, compared to this, somebody's gonna
Well, this is
eventually they're gonna figure out. Hey,
this
this
is an
just some
introductory
kids'
course,
books, yeah.
is what it is.
Well, if that's what it is,
that's what
maybe
worries
these
me
people think they're witches.
more than like the fantasy of it
Mhm.
and like her being gaslit is that she's going to get into black magic. And regardless of what people think and say about it, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm a materialist. I don't believe in that stuff." It is real.
The reality, as far as I know about it, is that people believe in it, and they'll go out in the woods and
Yes.
Mhm.
alchemy and that those sorts of things, or that I guess specifically came from those beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And
Yeah. Alchemy is mystery, religion, spirit, science, and
right, and I'm not sure exactly where I was going with that, but like that's to me, I guess that's sort of the base of this, unless these parents really were just that obsessed with the books and just thought that everything about witchcraft and magic was related to Harry Potter, which I don't
Right.
know. I
Like
mean,
this was their introduction to New Age witchcraft, as opposed to witchcraft first, and then Harry Potter comes along. Because if you know
Right.
anything about witchcraft or the dark arts, so to speak, there's a lot of obviously J.K. Rowling knew a bit about that stuff before she wrote Harry Potter. She was
yeah,
into
she probably
it.
wouldn't have wrote. You wouldn't have written the books otherwise.
Right.
Well, it's also, I think, a lot of the stories like are very similar to Christian stories too. Like as far as
Yeah.
hero's journey. I don't know, not hero's
They,
journey.
well, it is a hero's
basically
journey
what
of
it is.
Harry.
It's kind of, but I mean,
Harry.
they're similar to certain biblical stories, as far as I know.
It's good
Well,
and
it's,
evil.
yeah, it's
and
the
Good and
same
evil
thing
and
the
with
good.
chosen one and
Lord of the
Harry.
Rings, and it's the same thing.
So assuming
with,
that you are teaching the Bible as a set of allegories, which I can't remember what I was raised with. I don't remember if I remember my parents just said Adam and Eve are real, or this is a story or whatever about like
Yeah, I don't remember
temptation
that
or something
either.
like that. It's
Yeah,
not
I- they
literal.
never
I guess
specified, really.
it never really was that important.
I don't even know if my parents even thought about that. To be perfectly honest, boomers didn't think about anything.
No,
just didn't.
there's
They
no
just
deep
were
thought
like,
in any
sure.
of what they talk about.
That's sort
They
of
just
with the thing with boomers. I just
kind of rolled
assume,
with it.
yeah, they just were like whatever, as long as I can drink my bud,
Yeah,
my Bud Light.
and as long as my property value triples over the next
Yeah,
decade, I'll be fine with
yeah.
that.
As long as it triples over the next 50 years.
So yeah, that's I just worry about the kid getting into shit that because
Well,
there's a big push
Poor
now
kid, I guess, but
for like Joe Rogan talks about it, like people doing DMT and psilocybin, and they talk about going to these realms and seeing these, what do they call them, machine elves or some shit.
Yeah.
All that shit is just demons.
what the
But
hell
they
is
think
that?
it's like
You don't know about the machine elves?
You know about that?
No, I don't know
The,
about
the
that.
clockwork elves?
yeah, you take DMT and you're like transported into
Also near-death experiences.
Machine elves.
near-death experience.
Near-death
That's what they
experiences.
call them.
Mm-hmm.
Which somebody from 50 years ago would have called them demons. They're just like, oh, these are, interdimensional beings that are here to help my development and stuff. Like, these are beings that have existed since before the dawn of time. And Joe Rogan goes in, they're like, whoa, dude, look, machine elves, cool.
Mhm.
They're gonna be my friend and teach. They're gonna do shit.
What?
They're just demons waiting to trick you. I'm worried about this. girl doing
Jamie
shit
has
like
no
that.
frame of reference for what we're talking
Not
about.
really.
Oh yeah, I guess you know.
No, he's it's when a lot of people, I guess, during near-death experiences, meaning you've been dead for
Yes,
whatever,
or DMT.
a few minutes, or you
Few
take
minutes or
DMT. Everybody has a very, or not everybody, but
A similar.
a very large group of people have a very similar experience where they meet these like elf creatures
Mhm.
that sort of are there to lead them through their trip or something. I've never done
Well,
DMT.
through their death?
That's-
Through their
dude,
trip or death, I guess. In the
That's
experience that
close.
you are
Usually,
dying.
what they say is what I've gathered is that they don't specifically interact with these creatures, and if they do, these creatures basically give them the feeling that they don't belong there, that they shouldn't be there.
Mhm.
Like
I've
you're
heard that
in
from
a
some
place
people.
You shouldn't. You
I've heard
shouldn't
some
be or something.
people say that the clockwork
The
elves,
elves say that.
they thought they were there to teach them something, to like give them some sort of lesson or
But
something
not
like
so
that.
much.
Right. Sounds
They're
like
just
something
there
a
to
demon
kind
would
of
do.
tell them to get lost. And
Yeah,
or-
I've heard that too, where they're like, "What the fuck? How'd you get here?
Yes.
Like, you're not ready to be here yet."
Right. So I
Like,
mean, you
yeah,
imagine
yeah.
a spirit
I
that's
wonder.
thousands of years old
That's
versus
interesting.
a human being that's like 25, and they're
well,
like,
if you
Mhm.
talking to an embryo.
if you
basically.
technically died and you see that, what does that
Mhm.
mean?
Speaking
a lot
of-
of people. a lot of people have
Speaking of near-death
had that
experiences,
happen.
Rob told me a funny story. Yeah, a lot of people have had it happen. He told me his friend Chris, he's like a full-on atheist guy, like hardcore atheist guy, and he was like talking to him about some story where he was like, "Yeah, I've been dead. I know there's nothing there." And he's like, "What happened?" He was like, he was like, "Nothing." And he was like, "What do you mean nothing?" He's like, "Well, I was just in this dark room and it was blackness and I could see my body lift above my body and I could see a light." And he was like, "Well, that is." He's like, "What are you
That's
talking?"
not nothing.
He's like, "That's not
fucking
nothing."
dickhead. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
And he said the guy was like, "Oh yeah."
It was really hot, and I was like being prodded by a demon.
Yeah.
I
I
was
was
like,
like
I don't-
getting a
it's nothing.
fucking pitchfork shoved in my ass.
Oh yeah, I guess that was
Oh
something.
my
Yeah, I guess that does
Mhm.
constitute as some.
It was
thing,
an outer
yeah.
body experience he had
Whoops,
where
boys
he
and
could see
death stuff.
himself.
I guess we have
Yeah,
this.
I guess that's the thing that I worry about the most is that there truly is nothing.
What, just blackness? I mean,
Yeah, I
I've
mean,
I've listened to a lot of
I
near
don't
death
know why that
experiences.
would like
Mhm.
because you wouldn't even be aware of it.
There are
It'd
some
just
people that
be
have
it.
experienced
That'd be-
nothing, and maybe those are the people who teach
But if
their
you
kids about Harry Potter.
experience,
Maybe they
if you
didn't die enough.
experience it, then you still exist.
No, they say it will be like nothing. Like it'll literally be just a
Like
blacked
waking
out.
up?
Yeah, it'll be like waking up. There's no dreams, nothing. It's just their heart stopped beating, and then they woke up a minute later, and it was like nothing happened.
Oh,
Maybe they don't remember, or they're in hell and darkness, blackness.
Yeah. Well, I guess you would feel that though. You would feel
Or
the
they
blackness.
weren't.
You would
or
feel
they,
time.
They weren't.
I feel like they
actually dead,
introduce
I
you
guess.
to it first. Like if you're a bad person, you die and you go to hell. It's not just like instant pain. It's like, oh no, where am I? And then you move up a little bit and say,
He wants
like-
to warm you
get
up.
a little
the
hotter.
Inferno.
A
Like
little
the
hotter?
Inferno.
Yeah, basically. And you
Like,
you
you
go
have to
through the
be-
different levels of
Oh,
hell.
yeah. different
I
levels of
love
hell.
that allegory, by the way. That's the best description of all three of the post-life realms.
Mhm.
So you die, and then you're like kind of, if you're going to hell, you
Mhm.
get carted across the river, and you
Uh-huh.
and like you see people that didn't quite make it in
Mm.
technically,
Mhm.
and then you're kind of delivered to the place,
The level you
the
belong.
level of
Mhm.
that.
You remember who was at the bottom? Who were at the bottom of the hell
Oh
world?
yeah,
The
it's
ninth
the,
circle, I think.
huh?
Is it ninth circle? It's the bottom.
yeah, and it's the coldest, and it's
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
it's like the people that the traitors.
The traitors.
Yes, yeah.
The treacherous are at the bottom.
Right, and
Where they fucking belong.
and so is Satan himself.
Mm-hmm. Who was a treacherous traitor against God Almighty? Actually, yeah.
Right.
What was that old Kikero quote about like we can survive barbarians and people attacking our gates, but we can't survive the traitor in the gates inside?
Mm.
That's the real danger.
That's
is the traitor.
Well, I guess that's what he was saying.
Like I'm your friend, I stab you in the back. Can you imagine that?
What a
They're destined
I've
for
always
hell.
I've always wanted there to be a really good series of movies about that.
That would be interesting. I know there's like a video game, but
That's
it's like,
but that's like
it's not.
the video game is funny, but like it's stupid. I mean, it's like a
very
slash
stupid.
and
Uh-huh.
hack and slash video.
I didn't.
game.
I remember.
I remember.
It's like Devil May Cry, basically.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
is. And I think Mikey bought it for $5.
Oh wow.
Like
Oh yeah.
for Xbox, like
think I
10
have the
years
first
ago. Not
Mhm.
10, but like 7 or 8 when he still lived here. And I would just watch him play because I
Mhm.
was like
Wonder which one he
pretty
played.
wild. I think
I
I
only
was
know the
reading the
one.
book while he was playing.
Oh, that's funny.
I was and I was just like, this is so fucking stupid.
Was
Yeah,
it like
but-
a Japanese one or was it the DMC? I wonder
I
if you
think it
played
was
the one.
American.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
the
I
DMC
think
one.
it was made by
It's
American
the guy who
game.
wrote 20 Days Later wrote it.
Really?
Is it the one where he goes to Fox News and kills Bill O'Reilly?
What in the game?
Yeah.
No.
Who?
I don't know what
Wait,
you're talking- what do
DMC
you
or
mean?
the Dante's Inferno?
DMC, yeah. You go to Fox News and kill Bill O'Reilly.
Wait, is this the movie that they made of this?
No, it's the game that from 2013 or so.
I've watched
Yeah.
all the game like plays.
Kill
I
Bill
never saw anything
O'Reilly,
like that.
Yeah.
I wish that
it is.
I
Bill,
wish that was like what happened.
it's supposed to be. It's like a parody of Bill O'Reilly, but it's very obvious. And he's like Fox News, and like everybody who runs Fox News is like a
I wonder
devil,
if he's
like
like
a demon.
if Bill
The
O'Reilly
news
like
is run by
is
demons.
like in one of the rings of hell somewhere in there.
Well,
He's still alive right
unfortunately.
now.
I
We'll
know,
see.
but maybe they could throw him in there just
to check it out.
Yeah,
He's a quisling.
Throw
He's a
him-
quisling for
A
throw
sure.
him in.
quisling?
Throw him in with the traitors.
What's a
baby.
quisling?
Damn traitor.
Oh, he's a traitor. Bill O'Reilly
He'd be
is
down there.
Quisling.
Yeah.
Bill's
Remember his speech?
Bill's a disgrace.
After 9/11 or whatever, like, or
I
no,
will
it was
put
after
that
the
on
Iraq War
record.
broke out.
What
It's
happened?
like if anybody that dares not support our military, they need to shut the hell up. That's what he said, basically. All right, so this is has been in the news for a while. China bans feminine
Yeah,
men.
switch over to
Oh,
boys the second.
Boys desktop, okay. China bans feminine men from appearing on TV. They want to encourage masculinity amongst younger men.
Oh,
And I gotta say, I fully support. I rarely say this, but I fully support the Chinese government on this one.
what are they going to put out there instead of this guy?
Probably Chinese dudes kicking ass.
Maybe more
More
Kicking-
action movies.
action
Kicking
movies.
more
Yeah, I
asses?
wonder. That would be cool to see a resurrection of 80s Hong Kong films
Yes.
come out of a more strict.
Why don't they just play
Those guys
those
are badass.
movies?
Oh yeah, they should indoctrinate them with those movies in school.
With righting wrongs.
Yeah, Righting Wrongs. Yeah, we watched this one from '85 called Righting Wrongs.
So cool.
Just a lawyer that goes around killing bad guys. It's
Oh yeah.
just so pure, and then like there's absolute
Just
good,
no.
absolute evil,
Mhm.
and they clash, and the good guy. Well, nobody really wins.
I want to
guess.
watch that.
It's badass.
It's got great action
Who
scenes.
is it? Do you know who the
I forgot the
star
main
is?
guy. I know the
Main guy has been
director.
in a few Jackie Chan movies.
Corey Yuen.
something like that. Yeah.
Oh,
I can't
yeah?
remember.
Yeah. It's
But he was good.
Righting wrongs.
Righting wrong.
How do I get that?
No, maybe I'll
Probably
try.
like
I have a
torrent or
folder that I
something.
have
Or just
on my
send it to
Dropbox,
me.
and I'll send it to you.
What are
Oh
you-
shit!
Damn.
Someone is trying to get drunk.
Zealous.
Come over here, Key.
Somebody
Come
slurp
up here
this
and lap
up.
this up.
That's for Key.
I kind of want to introduce
That's her nickel.
Yeah, it's kind of Kyle, sorry, would you that's gonna
Yeah,
leak
yeah.
into something horrible. This is my fault. My fault. But anyway.
That's good. It was just like, I'm just gonna keep pouring.
I didn't think there was much left.
I thought you
That's
weren't-
fine.
It looked like you weren't looking.
I probably wasn't.
It's like, like that. Well, yeah, this guy.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like,
What's-
that's
yeah, I
this
mean,
is,
what's
this is something
the-
that the West has done for a long time, is to import this kind of shit into third world and developing countries.
Well,
To
I mean-
import our ideals, as in, like toxic masculinity and all that shit. That's what they're getting there now. And the
mean
popular
South
thing
Korea?
in Korea, in Japan, are these sort of herbivore men, these effeminate men. And China realizes if that becomes the norm, then their men aren't going to be men anymore. They're going to be emasculated, and the
Well,
way
they
that
won't be
America talks
tough. I
about
mean, this
them.
guy's obviously not
no
portraying
no.
himself as tough at all.
He's frail
And
and effeminate.
there's nothing wrong really with being around the cherry blossoms or whatever, but like the yeah, the image is I'm very harmless, and guess
I'll let you walk
I mean,
all over me.
yeah, it just
I won't defend the motherland.
I feel like if this
it's
is
not really very manly, I guess. Yeah,
No,
I mean it
it's
isn't, and that's not really much
And
of a
some
statement
people
to
are like
make,
that,
but, like-
but you don't want the bulk of men to be worried about their skincare regimen
or
and all this
it's
stuff.
I mean it's just it's not, I guess, the image of men as being warlike or warriors or tougher than that.
Yes. I mean, where there's a separation between masculine and feminine, we know that. The crossing of the two, mixing of the two, reversal of the two, that I think the Chinese government has an issue with.
Mm-hmm.
Popularizing this being what women look up to as opposed to...
Or-
Well,
men look
I
up
mean,
to.
but they have a flat out problem with homosexuality too, don't they?
The Chinese?
Yeah.
Oh, they have. I
government-
thought you meant
the
they have a
government.
problem. Like the gays are everywhere.
No.
There's a gay agenda.
the
there's-
governments have a problem.
There's
with
a government, issue.
Yeah,
there.
Oh, they don't like it.
And-
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, to me, that's less of a problem than that.
Well, then being...
Like just gayness in general is
Mhm.
less of a problem than this little wuss.
Well, yes, because you're not... Gay men aren't advertising themselves to women, I guess, right? Like, gay men aren't like...
This is sort of advertising
Getting women to be
this
attracted to them.
really soft guy
Mm-hmm.
as a straight man, and that's not to say that
I'm not
that
fooled.
there are no straight men like that, but that's not really what they want as far as their straight male population. I
Yes,
guess.
they don't want it to be
And,
encouraged. And you probably saw when you were in Japan the host clubs with men all being pretty much
I never went
trying
to
to look like
any.
this guy. You didn't go to a male host club?
No, but it seems like a place for, yeah, I mean it's like for the kind of salary man who's not very appealing to women, I guess.
Well, I meant like the where the hosts are men and like the middle-aged women go to see them.
Oh, well, they're
they-
both sides, so
Yes, they look
they're
like this guy.
separate. Yeah, and
The women.
I've seen a documentary about that where it's like that guy
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
is kind of
I've seen it too, yeah.
servicing middle-aged
Oh yeah,
single lonely women
Mhm,
in
Comfort-
Tokyo or wherever.
Yeah, and he
Comfort
makes bank, but
husbands
he's
or
like
wives or
really
something.
conflicted about it.
And I honestly found that to be weirder than the other way around.
Yes.
And that's just
Exceedingly
I mean, I
strange.
guess that's my just perception of the thing, but like It is.
Is that a symptom in Japan also of having like a 60-hour work week and you don't really have time for relationships or a
It is,
family?
yeah. I mean, certainly there's
connection or something.
that always exists. I mean,
Yeah.
it exists everywhere, and that's probably why prostitution has existed for as long,
The documentary-
since the dawn of man.
You're talking about is the one with like the comfort that they go and they'll just like snuggle. They don't have sex necessarily.
Yeah, I mean,
This
they
is
don't
it's a
even
male
necessarily
host.
snuggle.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like it's a guy. Guy looks like that, right?
Mhm.
He probably
It's a good
kind
looking guy.
of tall,
Frosted hair.
tall, slim.
Mhm.
Just young looking face,
Mhm.
and will just like pop bottles and like dote on these women.
Yeah, I
who
think I might have
pay
saw it. It was a long
just
time ago.
absurd amounts,
Yeah.
and get attached.
Oh yeah, I've seen
And
that. They have their regulars.
and then kind of try and pull these 18-year-old boys
Mhm.
basically out of the game. Like, I'm gonna save you, and just
Oh
be
wow,
your
so it's
sugar
like
mama.
Pretty Woman or something.
Not
they're all, like,
always,
40s.
but yeah, I mean,
No, I mean the movie Pretty Woman, where Richard
Oh yeah,
Gere pulls her
I
out.
mean, it's
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of the
yeah,
reverse of
Uh-huh.
that, yeah. And you always think of it being that way, like it's a
Mhm.
powerful man with money
That would pull
bringing
the
a
slag
woman,
off the street.
bringing a hooker out of
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Or
the
just
life or whatever, but
bringing a young
or a
woman
stripper or
into his
Mhm.
world.
Yeah.
But
I think.
there
Well,
was. Did we watch that
I'm
doc
pretty sure
together?
we did. I'm
We
pretty sure
did, I think, and we were just
When you lived in
kind of
Raleigh down the way.
awestruck by it because
Mhm.
it's like
It's bizarre.
Yeah, we watched it at my place in Durham.
Mhm.
I think maybe you found. I don't know
Mhm.
how it came up, but it was fascinating.
Yes.
I don't think
because-
this is necessarily negative for teen girls. Like I think having the NSYNCs and the Backstreet Boys and stuff like that. Maybe I don't know. Looking back at some of those videos, I'm like surprised how sexualized they are.
Yes.
They're good songs and stuff, but I do like if this is
Well,
like a demographic
Pretty similar, yeah.
for teenage boys and girls or whatever, depending on what it is, that's fine. But I do think if this was everything, if this was your
You think it goes beyond like the
if this is
teenage
like
years? And that
yeah,
kind of
yeah, I
thing?
think it seems like
That's.
it's more for adults as
Is
well.
that the problem? Do you think?
Uh-huh.
I think the problem is it's starting in teenage years because that's
And it's
their
kind of
formative
training them
attraction
to
years.
look
Uh-huh.
at that.
So
I
they're
feel like you grow at it. Like there's so,
trained to
like
find
anything
that.
that I was attracted to at 16, I think is like gross now or something.
Well,
you know?
yeah, there's not every. I don't really know
So,
how women work
I guess
in the same
maybe
way or not.
if that's the case, then this is kind of a harmless thing. It's just like
But I think what they
teenage girls like that because they're kind of harmless guys.
I don't think that's the case in South Korea though. I think this is like the mainstream, all ages, their obsession. I might be wrong, but with these sort of
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
prepubescent looking-
it's hard to say.
Japan has that. They
a lot
call
of people over
herbivore
there.
men.
and maybe Japan too. Yeah,
Herbivore,
Yeah,
man.
they're called herbivore men. That,
first
like,
world Asian countries.
They won't go and they don't
Something.
talk to women. They don't hit on them. They like just read their manga and stuff. They call them herbivores because
Hikikomoris?
they're not.
Oh, I always thought of those as like
They're not in the
what
sexual
do you
market.
call like otaku or something.
Hikikomori.
Like,
Yeah,
they're
but
just like
a lot of
obsessed with manga
cross.
and
a
Mhm.
lot of that
because they're
stuff
introverted
crosses.
and
Yeah. So otakus could be herbivore men, but it doesn't necessarily
so
have to be.
there's a separate term which is herbivore men.
Yes,
which
it's all encompassing kind of. Yeah, the women, the
Mhm.
men that are out of the
it's kind of
game,
like
so to speak.
just
Oh,
beta.
beta,
Beta,
man. boy.
There's all betas, yeah, and they, Japan has a crisis of like population where not enough people are having children. They have a negative replacement rate.
We should
yeah,
move there.
some more adult
You know.
diapers.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to do that. Like, I don't want to take my American ass over there and impregnate a bunch of their women, and then eventually, like,
bunch of
That would be fun. As
You
fun
know.
as that would be.
all the men are
Uh-huh.
like, they
That's
end up
it.
like me, and their whole culture changes because of it.
Mhm.
They
I
don't
wouldn't
want, so
want
they don't
that.
want that either.
No, they just need to bring the samurai spirit back to Japan, minus the
Mhm.
imperialism of the First or the Second World War, of course. But
So
they need to bring balls back.
no kamikaze pilots, but like they
Toshiro
need
Mifune,
to
that
they
guy
need
that
to
was in
toughen
Sword of
up their
Doom.
boys.
There
Is
is
that
like
what
a
you're saying?
ruthlessness
That,
in
like,
Japanese culture now, though, in like their hyper capitalist. There is
Yes.
a
there's
level
that,
of ruthlessness.
but that's not.
And I guess the
yeah.
herbivore men would be the ones that are opting out of that competition.
Yes, which I can't blame. There's a
I
poor,
can't-
very
uh-huh.
poor work-life balance. It's bad enough in the West,
Mm-hmm.
but in a place like Japan, Yeah, you have
You need to
salary
be pretty
men,
alpha for that, though.
people falling asleep on the train and shit.
You need to be pretty disagreeable in order to make it, I feel like, in that world.
Yes.
Either that, or you have to be just a total cog in the wheel,
yeah,
which
yeah.
you know,
Right.
if
You
just take
have
orders.
your supervisor as a supervisor,
You know-
and the chain of command is. I feel like it's much more structured and strict there in
Yes.
in a business,
Absolutely.
and so I mean, like I think even a guy who wouldn't be thought of as like a go-getter, an alpha guy, would still be working his cock off, like
Yeah.
just like
Yeah, yeah.
nonstop.
I mean, if you're not physically attractive, you're fucked in any country, basically.
Unless you're rich.
Unless you're super rich. Unless you're like,
Yeah,
unless
yeah.
you're at a certain level. Because there was something on 2020
Yeah.
from a long time ago.
Yeah, it's true.
They set these women up behind a two-way mirror, like a police mirror. Told Kyle about this, and they had a group of men from like average. There was one like really good-looking guy, and then there was this guy that was like 5 foot fucking tall, tiny guy.
Shrimp.
And they're like, they asked the women, "What do you think of these men?" They like the handsome guy, and they're like, "Oh, he's just a construction guy. He only makes like 45 a year," which in 1990 probably wasn't that bad. But they pointed out the shrimp,
Lovable.
and they tried to make him a doctor, tried to make him like a fucking, you know, like a billionaire. They tried to do everything to make this guy look good, and the women were like, "No, not a chance." So he could have more
Really?
money than God, and like they still would have nothing to do with him.
I know, but that's
sad.
It's not entirely true in the wild.
Oh, he'll find somebody. He'll find somebody to you know, jerk his little gherkin for a little while, and then divorce his ass and take half his money. You know, he's not gonna find true love. It's just not gonna happen. You're a genetic dead end, I'm afraid.
You might find another small woman.
You'd have to find a midget.
What is that movie, Orphan, where there's like the girl who's perpetually a child? Maybe you can find someone like that.
Is she mentally a child?
She's mentally a child as well. Yeah, I feel bad for the 5-footer guys, 5'4" and below. I mean, you could also
Oh,
go
that's
to
a
like
nightmare.
another country and
You
maybe
could
where
be
the demographic is shorter.
It's yeah, it is.
5'9" is fine, but if you're 5'5" or
It's
something,
a
you're fucked.
it is it's a stroke of luck just to be average height, really.
Yeah, we're exceedingly lucky. Really are.
I'm actually 6'5".
Yeah. So
What a
you're-
shrimp! I'm 8 feet tall.
Yeah,
No, I missed out on the whole
guys are lucky.
giant game. Everyone in my family's tall except for me.
Wow.
I'm the runt.
His family photos. Yeah, that's that's
Fucking tall.
Tall
Ish.
enough. Tall enough.
Tall enough. That's all that matters, though.
I won't be turned. I'll just like put on my Tinder profile that I'm 6 feet tall.
You are 6 feet.
Oh well, then the women won't be like, "Oh, wait a second,"
Aren't you? Or are you 5'11"?
I put 6 feet on my dating
5'11"
profiles.
is
I
like
put 6
I'm
feet
like
because
five-
I'm like 5'11" and some
5'10"
change.
or
Round
maybe
up.
5'11".
round up. They're not going to be
I
able
just
to tell.
round
But
up.
only if you're significantly shorter. If you show up at like 5'6" and you say you're 6 feet, obviously.
I wear my boots.
Right.
Well,
Or my
if you
lips.
if you show up you're 5'6" and you say you're 5'8", that could be a problem.
Yes.
actually, because they will know
It
because
will
a
be.
lot of the right.
That's a rule too. If you look up famous people and their height is listed at like 5'9",
yeah.
subtract 2 inches.
Yeah.
If they're not at least 5'11", 5'10", or 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet, they're lying about their height.
Joe Rogan 5'3".
Yeah, Joe Rogan's tiny. Tom Cruise is 5'6". Like they're all very, very, very
5'6",
short.
huh?
Yes, exceedingly
It's
short.
actually not as short as I thought.
You thought
it's
shorter
not-
than 5'6"?
I thought he was like 5'.
Speaking of which, we should
That's
look at
tiny.
the picture of Tom Cruise now.
Oh yeah.
Look at Tom Cruise
Was it
2021.
OK Magazine or something? I think.
Yeah,
Had the
I mean, I've
issue?
seen other
no,
photos
maybe
of him.
maybe I did hear that he's 5'6".
He's
I don't
tiny.
know. Who gives a shit? I'm not trying to marry him, but
Look how great he looks there.
Yeah, he looks great in all
Got a-
these. Where's that?
Just type in 2021.
fucking handsome
Oh, just
face.
type in
What do you
2020.
want?
Do you
Yeah,
see
let's
him
just
here?
see
There
it.
he is. Wow, dude.
Christ's sakes.
And he just
Not
did,
a
you know,
good
the
shot.
mission Mission
Yeah,
Impossible.
whatever though. I mean,
Like
like,
7 years
everyone
ago,
takes
6 years
bad
ago?
pictures.
I mean, he's like
What is
60
he,
at this point.
fucking chewing his lip?
Turning 60 alone.
Yeah, but let's look
Oh,
up.
really?
Let's look up.
Damn, that's
hold
rough.
on. What was the latest?
I hope I don't turn 60.
Mission
alone.
Impossible 4. Or what's
I guess
that's
I got
not it. The
25 years for
Is
that.
it 5?
No, it's
Or-
the
24.
what's his name?
Ghost Protocol or something?
No, I'm not even thinking of Mission Impossible. I'm thinking
Oh.
of the more recent movie he did. The remake or the sequel to the Riding Through.
Oh, Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Yeah.
He did another Top Gun.
Yeah, he did a sequel to Top Gun. But
One
and he
is
looks
coming out. Like,
yeah,
soon?
yeah.
21.
And
They must have de-aged him, honestly.
So we could just watch the trailer to it.
Look,
This
he
is
looks
how he
old.
looks here.
Yeah,
And
he looks
then
fucking old.
He doesn't look that. I mean, he
This
looks
is how he
much
looks
older.
here.
He looks like he might be sick. That's what I'm worried about.
right, yeah, I'm worried that he's got some like sort of a Norm Macdonald disease.
Well,
or
he's
something.
like lost, like some
See?
of his face.
You know, he looks like he's in 40s or
Yeah,
something.
he
but
looks
still looks
fine.
good.
Yeah.
And you know, here he is for Top Gun.
He has that look of like somebody who's. You know who else has this look? This is why I think he's sick. Is the guy from Terminator 2, the T-1000.
Oh,
Look at
him.
Robert Patrick.
Yeah, look at Robert Patrick now, and then look at him in like just 2008 or something.
Sad about Norm Macdonald, by the way.
That's terrible,
Yeah,
man.
I
God.
was really upset about that.
Fucking king of comedy.
Still upset about it.
What
saw
a,
him
what a
recently
king
in
of
something.
comedy.
Was it? Yeah, like there.
This one?
These aren't even that bad. It
It's
was
like
that. I watched that movie, The Protege, with him in it. Type in maybe The Protege. Maybe it'll have a picture of him in it.
Did he look bad in that?
Yeah, he looked like he had.
Protege?
Yeah, he looked like he had some. Yeah, there you go.
Fucking tiny ass picture.
Huge picture. Oh, you can
Great.
kind of tell the far left top.
This one?
Yeah. Did it blur his
Right,
face?
They blurred his old face out.
Damn.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Oh, buy some glasses.
Like an
So
ad for his
hard.
glasses.
So, I figured this would be easier.
I mean, he looks pretty.
Looks pretty
I
old.
mean, he's an old guy.
older.
Well, I saw him in The
It's
Sopranos
like 30 years ago. The movie came
in like
out.
2001,
Or
and he looked
25 years.
decidedly better. Obviously better. Michael Keaton's like 70 in this movie doing action scenes. Definitely
Beast.
gave me hope for
Dude, he's
whatever, another
he's-
40 years
yeah.
of being athletic or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude is the man. Yeah, he's the man.
If we just blow this out, it's gonna be blurry as hell. But
Yeah,
Ah,
it's
fuck.
Close enough.
I don't know where I went with that.
Well,
Okay, well,
we get yeah. It's type him in just like Robert Patrick, Sopranos or something.
he's in The Sopranos.
Yeah, yeah. And he looks.
Oh,
so much
wow.
younger. I mean, that's like. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that's
What, 20
that's
years
fucking
does
20 years is
ago,
cruel,
buddy.
man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I guess if you look at me at 15 years old, that's real damage.
Well,
Yeah.
that's some real living,
Some
dude.
serious
I mean,
living.
20 years ago, we were 16,
I just
15,
can't
16.
get over this with Tom Cruise, dude.
Bro.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
we
yeah.
have a picture of us when we were all 16? There's
Probably
gotta
so.
be
I know
one.
we've got our Facebook
There's
pictures
gotta
of
be
us on
one
that trip when
somewhere.
we were 23 or so.
22. I was.
Oh, okay. You had yeah, because it was late summer.
That was fun though.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with Tom
Why
Cruise.
haven't
I
we
hope
done
he's
that
okay.
again?
I hope he's all right too.
I just want to drive back out to the desert.
Desert.
I mean, look at like Val Kilmer.
That's sad. I
Oh
watched
my
this-
fuck!
Have
you
not
seen his
it?
doc?
Yeah,
Yo,
I've seen it.
Val, what happened?
He had cancer. He kind of
Yeah.
Tom Cruise kind of has this cancery face though. Or unless
Right
that's
now, he looks like Norm Macdonald on his like podcast 3 years ago. He was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
fat faced and
I know that chemo
that's not
swells
good.
you up.
right. Yeah, that's what I'm worried
Mhm.
about. But also, Tom Cruise is part of the elite, and I wonder why they can't just put him in one of them chambers and cure his ass
Curing, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know.
with
How old is how old is he?
adrenochrome.
He's in his
I
50s,
feel like
right?
he's 60,
He
or
just
he was
turned
born
60.
in 62 or something.
So he
Or
would
is
be
this,
59.
this was on the rack now, so
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
turning 60 now.
God damn.
Tim
So-
Cruise.
Jimmy?
From
Yeah.
heartthrob to loner. That's a
Jesus! That's
roasted.
so lame. Yeah.
Anger issues, no pals, and hated by his exes.
Nope.
Haunted by his mistakes as a dad.
Damn.
Inside his bizarre Scientology. So they're going after the whole
They
Scientology.
Oh,
really
yeah,
going
well.
after him.
I think they got some dirt on his ass.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
It's funny
He
how
did,
Scientology over the last decade seems like tame compared to like weird cabal shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't. I haven't really.
Just like Jeffrey Epstein stuff or whatever.
I haven't
all,
seen that shit.
all those.
Oh, the old Elron used